Summary of this video tutorial. In this video, I will show you how you can integrate jQuery data table in ASP.NET MVC applications. We have converted a plain HTML table into jQuery data table that looks like this. It offers excellent features like searching or filtering, sorting, and paging. Using this search box, you can search a keyword inside any of these columns. We can sort this column based on these columns in ascending and descending order. Then we have implemented paging for this table with these buttons and one drop down. We have populated this HTML table using SQL Server table and entity framework. And then finally we have tried some popular user interface frameworks and style sheet. In order to get this look, we have tried jQuery theme roller, and then we have tried Semantic Ui to get this look. Finally, we have tried Bootstrap 4 in jQuery data table in order to get this look. What's up YouTube? Welcome to .NET Mob. In this video, we will discuss jQuery data table and ASP.NET MVC integration. So this is the official website for this plugin jQuery data table, datatables.net. First of all, I would like to give you an overview of basics of this plugin jQuery data table. It is an excellent client-side jQuery plugin to create rich functional tables in web applications. So here you can see an example of jQuery data table. Without further explanation, let's implement this jQuery data table in ASP.NET MVC. Before starting this video tutorial, I would like to ask you a favor. If you found this video helpful, please thumbs up this video, and for more awesome videos like this, please be subscribed to this channel .NET Mob. This is my Visual Studio 2013. First of all, we have to create ASP.NET MVC application. For that, you can click on this new project here, or go to file, then new, then project, or you can use this shortcut Ctrl+Shift+N, click on that. Then from the left panel, select web under Visual C#, then select ASP.NET web application, then name your project here. I will name it as jQuery data table in MVC. Then select the location where you want to save this application, then click on OK. Select MVC template, keep other options as it is, then click on OK. So here we have a brand new ASP.NET MVC application. First of all, I am going to delete unwanted controls and views. Let me open my controls folder here, selecting this account and home controller, right click on it, then delete. Click on OK. Then delete views from these controls, account and home. Right click, then delete. Click on OK. Finally, I want to delete these model classes. Right click on it, delete. Before continuing with this project, let me create database for this application. This is SQL Server Management Studio. Here we are connected to SQL Server 2012 Express Edition. Now we have to create a database. In this database, we are going to store details of employees. So I will create a database with the name EmployeeDB. Right click on databases, then click on new database. SQL Server database name will be EmployeeDB. Click on OK. Newly created database can be seen here. Now I want to add a table. Right click on tables, then table. First column, employee ID. Data type will be integer. Second column, name as worker 50. Position as worker 50. Office as worker 50. Age as integer. Finally, salary as integer. Now I want to make this column employee ID as the primary key for this table. For that, right click on the column, then set primary key. In order to save this table, you can use Ctrl+S or click on the save icon here. Then I will name this table as employee. Click on OK. Newly created table can be seen under this tables node here. employee. Now back to Visual Studio. Now we want to add ADO entity model for this database table employee inside this models folder. For that, right click on this folder, then add new item, select data from the left panel, then select ADO.NET entity data model, then name your model here. I will name it as DB model. Click on add, then select generate from database, then click on next. Then click on new connection here. Since we have created SQL Server database, I will keep this data source as it is. Now we want to provide the SQL Server details here. Local /SQLE 2012. Then select database from this drop down. I will select this employee DB, then click on OK. Now I want to change this entity connection string settings. I will set it as DB models. After creating this entity data model, there will be a class with this name DB models. With this class object, we will retrieve data from this database employee DB. Now click on next. In this step, we have to select database objects that we want to include this entity model. So I will select this employee table, then click on finish. Newly created entity model DB model can be seen under this models folder. This is the diagrammatic representation of this entity data model. As you know, this employee table is empty. If you right click on it, then select top 1000 rows, you can see that this table is empty. Now I am going to insert values into this employee table. Here is my SQL query to insert some test rows into this employee table. Click on execute. So right now we have some rows inside this table. You can see that. Click on execute here. So in total we have 57 rows here in this employee table. Now back to Visual Studio. Now we are going to add a new controller into this MVC application. For that, right click on controllers, then add controller. I will select MVC5 controller empty, then click on add. Controller name will be employee controller. Click on add. Inside this employee controller, here we have a default action index. Now we need to add a view for this index action. For that, right click here, then add view. View name will be index, template will be empty, and use layout. And we will use the default layout page from this shared folder. Click on add. I will change this title here as employee list, and I want to change this h2 tag as employee list. Let me change the default controller. For that, open AppStart, then go to root.config.cs file, then change this home into employee. Now let me run this application. For that, you can use the shortcut control F5. Currently our application looks like this. Top navigation and footer comes from the default layout page that you can see here inside this shared folder underscore layout. For this application, I am going to use this top navigation, and instead of this footer, I am going to set it as jQuery Datatable Integration in ASP.NET MVC. Save this and reload this page. That's it. Now we are going to add jQuery data table under this employee list heading. For that, I am going to start with HTML table, and we want to give an ID for this table as employee table. First of all, we will add header head tr. Inside that, we will add th for each column headers. First of all, we have name, then we have position, then office, then age, finally salary. In order to work with jQuery data table, we have to use one style sheet and two jQuery files. One is jQuery library itself that we have added inside this layout view. Here you can see bundle / jQuery. First of all, I will add link for style sheet. Let me copy the CDN path from here and pasting here. In order to write JavaScript codes, I will use this section scripts. So we can start like this at section scripts. First of all, we have to import the second script file, scripts src is equal to, let me copy this CDN path from here and pasting here. Inside the script tag, we can write our custom script codes, scripts document.ready event, in order to activate this HTML table into jQuery data table. You can do this. You have to pass the ID of the table here and then call Datatable function. Inside this Datatable function, we have to pass configuration details of the table. For that, first of all, I will type the configurations here. After all, we will discuss each of them. First of all, we have Ajax, URL is equal to /employee/get list. Second parameter type is equal to get. Then data type is equal to JSON. Finally, we have columns. For that, we will pass an array of objects. Data is equal to name. Like this, we have to pass 4 more objects. For that, let me copy this and paste in below that 4 times. After name, we have position, name, then position, then office, then age, finally we have salary. First of all, we have Ajax request to get or retrieve data to populate this HTML table. Here is the URL and type of request will be get, and we will retrieve data as JSON format. Finally, we have columns property. It tells what all the columns should be associated with each of these HTML table columns. So first of all, we have name. Name should be binded with name property inside the JSON data. Then we have position, office, age, and salary. So these data values should be matched with the property inside the JSON retrieved data. Now we need to create an action method get list of the type get inside employee controller in order to retrieve data. For that, you can start like this: public action result get list. By default, MVC action methods are get methods. Now inside this action method, we have to retrieve data using entity framework. Inside the models folder, you can see entity model db model here. Expand db model.tt, then there you can see a file employee.cs. So here we are going to make use of this class as a model for this application. In order to use this class, we have to import this namespace. Let me copy this, and we have to use that here using pasting the namespace here. Now we can start like this. Using statement as a resource, we will create an object of db models. db is equal to new db model. Now we will create an object of employee list here is equal to db model dot employees dot to list, and we have to convert that into employee list. Now we have to return this employee list as a JSON data. For that, you can do this JSON new data is equal to employee list retrieve. In order to return a JSON data from MVC action method, you have to set the JSON request behavior as alloget. In order to run this application, hold Ctrl then press F5. So here we have a warning: employee table request unknown, parameter 0 for row 0, column 0. For information about this error, please see the link. Let me check our code here. Ajax URL type data type, then columns 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, here we have misspelled columns. An extra M is here. Let me remove that. Saving and reloading this page. Let me reload this page. That's it. So here we have a basic jQuery data table. It contains columns name, position, office, age and salary. You can sort them in ascending or descending order. Here we have a search box in order to filter rows based on a keyword. If I type London here, it will filter all of the columns that contains London in any of these columns. Here we have paging 1 2 3 4 5 6. In total we have 57 entries. By default you can have 10 entries in a single page. You can change that here. If you set it as 25 or 50, you can see 50 rows inside a single page. So it would be helpful if you can add same header, these headers in the footer, table footer. For that, let me copy this t head and pasting below that and changing t head to t foot, saving and reloading this page. Okay, now it looks fine. Here you can see the table header in footer. Now if you check the official website sample, you can see that alternative rows got some styles, and if you hover on them, you can change that corresponding row style will be changed. So in order to get this style, you can add CSS class here, class, set it as display, saving and reloading this page. So here we have a jQuery data table that looks like this demo inside official website. So this is the normal jQuery data table. If you can integrate or use popular user interface or style sheets like jQuery UI, theme roller, Semantic Ui and Bootstrap, you can have 3 more different good looking themes for your jQuery data table. In order to do this, you don't have to change your JavaScript code. You may need to change style sheets or JavaScript reference for jQuery data table. First of all, we will try jQuery UI theme roller. Back to Visual Studio. So this style sheet reference is from normal jQuery data table. Let me comment it here. Normal. Now we are going to comment this. Select this line and use the shortcut Ctrl KC. Now I am going to copy paste these two references. I have created a notepad for this purpose. So for jQuery theme roller, we need these two style sheet references. Don't worry, you don't need to write it down. You can download this project with dbscript from the link given below in video description. Now we need to add JavaScript files. So this one is the normal one. We can keep it as it is, normal, and we need to add this reference. Let me copy and pasting here, and you can use the same class display. Save this and reload this page. Boom! So here we have added jQuery theme roller into jQuery data table. So here you can do whatever you have done with normal jQuery data table. And here we have drop down, and here we have paging and sorting icon is changed, and search box. Now let's try Semantic Ui. For that we have to comment these lines, select all of them, then use the shortcut Ctrl KC, and we have to comment this JavaScript file also. Now we need to add these two files. Let me copy them and pasting here, and now we need to add this script reference, copy them and pasting here. In order to work this method, we have to change this table class display. This display class is for normal jQuery data table and theme roller, jQuery theme roller. Let me copy this and pasting below that, and we will comment the first one, and this one is for the Semantic Ui, and we have to change this class UI, then celled, then table. That's it. Let me save this and reloading this page. That's it. Here we have Semantic Ui theme for jQuery data table. Here, first of all, here we have a good looking drop down for show entries. Then we have search box, and here you can see that sorting icon is changed, table style is changed. Here we have the paging. Now let's try Bootstrap theme. For Bootstrap we have to use a different class. For that, let me copy this and pasting below that. Let me comment this Semantic Ui table tag, and here we have Bootstrap, and we need to change the class as table, then table stripped, then table bordered, and we need to add style sheet. First of all, let me comment the style sheet reference for Semantic Ui, Ctrl KC, then I will add this reference here, Bootstrap, then we need this one and pasting here, and we need JavaScript reference. Let me comment reference for Semantic Ui and pasting reference for Bootstrap, copy and pasting here, saving and reloading this page. So here we have another look with Bootstrap theme. You can see its icon is changed, and here we have a bordered jQuery data table. In this example, I have used jQuery 3.0 version that you can see here. In the layout page, here we have added Bootstrap using this bundle content /CSS, and here you can see inside this bundle config file, here we have added content /bootstrap.css. If you check the file content bootstrap.css, here we have added 3.0 version. Now I am going to replace this Bootstrap 3.0 with Bootstrap 4.0. Then you will get a better looking jQuery data table. For that, I will comment this line for Bootstrap 3.0 and I will add 4.0 reference inside this index view. Let me copy its reference from here and pasting here. Now we have changed our CSS code, so in order to work this method inside this page, we have to build this application. For that, go to build, then click on build solution. After the successful build, reload this page. Wow, it looks fine and it is better than 3.0. That's it guys. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to this channel .NET Mob. You can download this project along with DBScript from the link given below in video description. If you have enjoyed this video, let me know your comments and feedbacks in the comment box below. In the upcoming tutorials, we will discuss more about custom search, sorting, paging and much more. Have a nice day. Bye.